the heart of all foundry operations is the melt shop. Whether using gray iron or ductile iron for casting, the melter of choice for the majority of iron production today is still the Cupola. Why? Because the technology is innovative, the iron is superior, the cost savings are real. The membership of the American Coke and Coal Chemicals Institute includes 6 independent merchant coke producers committed to serving cupola operators around the country. In recent peak years, the foundry industry has required 1.4 million tons of coke. This is supplied by the merchant producers, who have an annual capacity of almost 2 million tons, and excess capacity will be available in the future. The coke industry was successful in negotiating with the EPA for clean air standards to allow full coke production through the year 2020 and beyond. Simply stated, future demand for coke can be met and new cupola installations can be serviced. Conventional cupolas are being replaced by units with selected refractories, liningless shells, water-cooled components, offset basins, protruding tuyeres, and computer controls. Whether using a cold or hot blast, today's cupola can handle all production needs. Some cupolas are melting 100 tons an hour and running campaigns up to 16 weeks. They can achieve this by utilizing continuous charging and tapping, recuperative hot blast, oxygen and carbon injections, siphon slagging, and duplexing. Most cupolas are designed with 10 to 15% excess capacity, available without an investment for additional equipment. Most electric furnaces have little or no reserve melting capacity beyond the design rating. A major advantage of the cupola is its ability to accept abundant, uncleaned, cost-effective scrap, from 100% steel to 100% cast. Oil filters, tin cans, galvanized scrap, even uncleaned motors can be digested. The contaminants and tramp elements are removed in the melting process. Most electric melters, on the other hand, require more expensive clean scrap and pig iron to prevent problems related to zinc, including hazardous air emissions in the shop, premature deterioration of furnace linings, and excess zinc retention in the iron. These problems will only be harder to avoid in the future as the demand for clean scrap tightens. The cupola operator has precise control over the melting process. Blast temperature controls, computerized charge weights, metal temperature measurements, and silicon and carbon analysis are used to produce iron that is unmatched in quality. Cupola iron is more inoculable and has more consistent chemistry. Its natural carbon content increases fluidity, reduces chill and shrinkage, and improves machinability. The biggest benefit of cupola melting is without a doubt the real cost savings. The cupola is the low-cost melter at production rates of 15 tons an hour or more. Rates less than this should be evaluated on an individual basis. We can compare average melt costs for melting gray iron at a production rate of 20 tons an hour. The cupola's cost for raw materials and energy are a lot less. For the foundryman, the cupola's net cost savings are nearly $30 a ton, $4,800 a day, over $1 million a year. The second cost comparison is for melting ductile iron using the same melters. The cupola's net cost savings are about $41 a ton, $6,600 a day, over $1.5 million a year. For melting more than 20 tons an hour, the savings are even greater. Similar savings have been verified by a company that concurrently operates cupolas and electric melters at different locations across the U.S. The bottom line? Today's cupola is flowing with cost savings at the spout. In the future, Foundry Clean Air Act requirements may become an even more important reason for using a cupola. Today's cupola already eliminates fugitive air emissions, unlike the batch-type electric furnace, which requires costly add-on systems to control emissions. At the heart of a cupola's peak performance is quality foundry coke. Coke not only supplies the most efficient energy, but it supplies carbon to the liquid iron, increases combustion, and helps reduce silicon loss in the cupola. The best quality foundry coke is produced here in the U.S. U.S. coke is checked for consistency, size, strength, and chemical content to meet strict customer specifications. Historically, merchant coke producers have contributed to the success of the foundry industry. The foundry coke producers remain committed to delivering quality and savings to America's cupola melters in the future. To obtain a cost comparison between cupola melting and electric for your foundry, ask your coke supplier or call the Coke Institute. What is the best melter for your foundry? Today's cupola.